Hey, great day to you all. I hope that you've all woken up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope you've set that high vibe for yourself, telling yourself all of those amazing things that you need to hear this morning. Yeah, like you're amazing, you're strong, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're capable. You'll flow like water over rocks with ease and great force today. You know, the best thing you can do for yourself is just let people be who they are going to be, but you just take the inventory for you. Because the inventory is the learning. Yeah? And you know, sometimes you got to figure out what you don't want in your life in order to know what you do want. It's as simple as that. But that's why you have to give the allowance to people to be who exactly they're going to be. Without distortion. You can't change anybody. You can only change you. Yeah. But are you invested in change, or are you invested in your patterns? That's something you got to look at. Everybody's so busy taking inventory of everything else. Take inventory of the people that are in your life. Yeah. Big time. Take inventory of what you give permissions to. Big time. Take inventory of what doesn't feel right in your life. Whether it's inflicted by you or by another. Because literally it all comes down to your own inflictions and your permissions. Nobody can do anything to you. No, not in this lifetime. And you factually can only destroy yourself. Nobody else. And you know, it's not just about loving everybody. It's about making sure you are causing no harm to none. So, if you're invested in your growth and your fuel and you're evolving and you're becoming the best version of yourself, well, then you also must take inventory of those that are in your life and what you give permissions to. Yeah. But you can't try to change anybody. Never. You can't want something for somebody that they do not want for themselves. And the best way to know is just to listen and watch. And I'll remind you guys all this morning that 7% of communication is spoken word. And I've mentioned consistency and time are the biggest truth tellers. But are you igniting the love within yourself so that you can feel the distortion of what's unloving around you? You see, this is it. If you are an unloving person, well, then you are comfortable in the unloving ways of yourself, people, places, and things. But when you're a loving person, well, you feel the distortion. But what you also have to do is allow people to show up exactly who they are and as they are. Because there is multitudes of learning for you in that, should you allow it for yourself. But is that what you're looking for? Are you invested in your learning? Or are you invested in the chaos and the conflict of the patterns that you've created for yourself? Yes. Why do I ask that? Because I see way too many people invested more in their patterns than their change. Yes. But I have to allow people to do that. Just like I had to have the allowance to do that for myself, you see? The old Tobi is farthest thing from who I am today. And I am proud that I've evolved, that I've grown out of that person. Who was that person? Well, I always needed to be doing something. I always needed to have somebody around me. I couldn't be by myself. Always go, 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 go. filling my day with useless stuff, running as if happiness was a destination. Yeah. Yep. My door was like a saloon door. Anybody welcome, and the door just revolved. And anybody who listens to these that have known me for years, that's exactly how I was. I was the life of the party. And you come by me, there would always be some type of something going on. Barbecues, dominoes, whatever. I always had many, many people around, and there was always fun happening. It's the farthest person from who I am today. I can sit here proudly and say that I don't interact with too many. And the ones that I do interact with basically have a need for me. Yeah. And that's okay. Because I give the allowance to people to show up to be exactly who they are. And nothing but. And I don't sit there and brain fuck myself about who they are either. No. And why can I clearly see a person for who they are? Because I know me. And I know the vibe I carry. And I know what I do. And I know what I infuse in people. So I had a great question about, about why is it when you're changing and you're evolving and you're growing, you lose interest in communicating with people that have been in your life that are not interested in the same things? Well, it's very easy. If you're evolving and growing out of old ways, but they choose to stay stuck there and choose to stay stuck in their chaos, well, it's a discrepancy to how you live. So it's just like birds of a feather flock together. Well, then those ways are no longer going to sit well with you. And this is the evolution and change of people. Now, either people are getting stuck in their repetitive patterns of destruction or they're not. Now, it doesn't matter what I can say to somebody. And I hate repeating myself because active listening is key to get anything. Now, I have seen people that I've been talking to for months that are still stuck in their ways because they don't invest in their own change. They're always blaming their moods on everybody else but themselves. They're always throwing the accountability for what they think, say, and do because of a circumstance, situation, and scenario outside of them. When factually, it doesn't matter what you're living. You can be okay. Now, even when I tell people, they ask me, why is this like this and why is this like that? And I tell them, well, you're running from yourself. You can't sit with yourself. You're trying to fill your days with meaningless shit because you have no meaning for yourself. Well, then I'm the bitch. No, you're in complete, utter chaos. And I can see it and I can smell it. And no, I won't contribute to it. How do I know? Because I lived it myself. See, so you got to live it to learn it. And that's why I can take a look at a person and know if they're on any kind of chemical drugs. Because I did a whack of chemicals myself throughout my life. Even my own mother says, Tobi, I don't know how you are so intelligent. Like, after you did so much drugs. Well, I like to say, well, all of the great minds once did cocaine. Albert Einstein. Sherlock Holmes. I could keep going. Christ, Coca-Cola had cocaine in it at the beginning. So, come on. Get over the stigma of cocaine. You know, I don't do it anymore, but I don't judge anybody who does either. I know why I did it, but I can help them get off of it. Literally. because any addiction anybody has is just they're escaping their reality, and that's it. So they're really addicted to the escape of their own reality because they don't realize that they can construct their reality to be something different than what they're living by thought alone. And everybody runs from how they feel. Like they don't feel good, so therefore they run to go and do something to make them feel good. Well, no, nothing outside of you is going to make you feel good unless you are internally making yourself feel good. So if you are a happy person by choice, well, then you can be happy. But if you think that happiness is a destination, you're never going to get there. Literally. Like, you should be just grateful that you're alive. And you should be a loving person. No matter what you've lived. Who cares? So what? Cry me a fucking river. Get over it. Yeah. Like I was told. No, don't get over it. Go through it. Literally. Break it up and release it. Literally. It's it. You have to. And it was funny because somebody reached out to me last night and said, Toby, how do you really cut cords every night? Like, I really want to learn how to do this. Well, look, you do it by choice and intention. If you have a choice to invest in these repetitive patterns and hang on to things that are not meaningful in your life, wherever you put your focus is where you're paying your life force to. So, if you believe that the cords are still there, they will be. Me, I cut all cords, bam, every night. Why? Because it's just easier that way. Yeah, I carry nothing forward into my next day. Nothing. Nothing. Whatever stays in yesterday is there, it's gone, and I'll leave it there. Literally. I can't, the only thing that we do have from our yesterdays is the reflection of it. Literally. And self-reflection is one of the greatest tools that we were given. Hindsight. And I talk about that in one of my books. But yeah, reflection. When we can look back and we can say, well, that didn't make us feel too right. We can do better next time. When we fall short of listening to somebody who needed it, or giving a shit when somebody needed it, or helping when we could, or getting frustrated by somebody else's chaos, or yeah, literally. But you got to allow people to be exactly who they're going to be in your life so that you can make your proper choices for you. And it's all learning. You have so much to learn off of people, even if they're negative or positive or whatever. But yes, people do fall away from your side because you adopt different patterns. So we get caught in cyclical patterns with people because those are the patterns we're in. So if you really want to know, if you're having a hard time taking a good look at yourself, just look at the people around you. Because yes, birds of a feather flock together. Yes. So if you can't see yourself inside that picture, take a good look at who you have around you and what you accept for yourself. It's going to tell you everything. Yeah. Water finds its own level. So if your group of people around you that you interacted with every day are lowered vibration, well, so are you, whether you see it or not. Do you sit there and listen to your friends complain about everything and you think it's okay? Do you uplift people, or are you sitting there gossiping about people? Like, take a look at the people that are in your life. And it's going to tell you a lot about yourself and what you accept for yourself. And it's going to tell you also what you believe you're worth. But you have to allow people to show up in your life as who they are. And don't try to change them. No, because that's their choices. But you got to take inventory of it. Just like you got to take inventory of your thoughts, your belief systems, your ways of operating. Why are you the way you are? Was it a circumstance or a scenario or a person that made you feel like that? That made you feel less than? Made you feel not worthy? Were you made to feel like your voice didn't matter? Because I know a lot of people that don't stand up for themselves. Whereas, guaranteed, I will stand up for myself because I know damn well nobody else will. But once you can stand up for yourself and what you want and the changes that you want and the love that's fueling you, nothing can stop you. But what are you standing up for? Are you defending people that don't warrant it? Are you giving all your life force to people who are just stuck in patterns of destruction? Because you got to look at that. You know? You got to look at that. I can be okay with nobody around me. I can sit still for hours and do literally nothing. Literally nothing. Because nothing to you all is being at peace within me. Literally. I could sit for days with no interactions. I could sit for days and not need anything outside of me. Literally. Okay, I've done it. And I do it on a regular. Do I fly in a flock? No, I don't. I really don't. I'm a loner all the time. I'm alone all the time. And you know what? When I do have a friend around, it's a mere very short experience. And more time than not, I am providing something to them. Because they're in chaos and confusion within their own being. So I know that too. And this is why I have no problems being alone. No, I don't. Actually, I love it. I don't sit there and manipulate me. I don't lie to me. I don't. No. Come on. And I'm not stuck in some pattern of chaos that is every time I open my mouth, it's confusion and chaotic. No, when I open my mouth, it's clear, constructive, and uplifting for others. I'm not trying to chew people down, but I will give you that rude wake-up call that you need to hear. Yeah? Because I'm that one that'll love you enough to tell you the truth about you. Yeah, because I see it. I smell it. But do people like to hear it? No, because they like to stay stuck in their patterns. And you have to allow that for people. If that's what they choose for themselves. Yeah, we all have the power of choice and the free will of our choices. But what people choose for themselves, you must allow for them. No matter what you believe for them, if they don't believe it for themselves, leave it. Yeah. Have faith that they'll find it on their own. Seriously. Because literally, within a short span of time, there has been a group of people that I have interacted with, that I have fueled change within because they wanted it for themselves. Now, there are two flip sides to this, which is very clear, because when I take inventory of where I put my life force and the people that I invest in for their change, because I don't invest in people for me. No, I don't. I invested in me for me. No better investment. But I do invest into people for their growth. Because I don't want anybody to feel shackled to anything less than who they are. I was shackled to that for way too long. So I know how that feels, but I also know how it feels to be free of it all. So there are two types of people when I take inventory of what I've invested in. Now, somebody asked me about, how do you know Well, you take inventory. So this is the inventory that I take. All right, so I have a list of people who I've engaged with, who I've given my books to, who I have interacted with, who I have constructively shared my life force and my knowledge with to assist fueling their change. Now, half of these people have taken the knowledge, welcomed the change, broken the patterns, and accelerated greatly in their life and feel the change immediately. Well, then what's the flip side? The flip side is they read the books. They think they know it. No, they don't, because they haven't applied it. They get stuck using my words with no understand. That's right. No overstanding of the shit I preach. Now, if you want to use my words, you better be able to explain them. Simple. Like, because I use some terminology that nobody uses. But my explanation for that terminology is a lot different than others may think. So when you use my words, you better have the understanding and overstanding of what it means. Literally. Because what happens is, with this flip side of people, is this. Instead of investing in their change, they start to just try to adopt my ways. You can't adopt my ways unless you've lived everything that I've lived. And you can use my words all you want. But do you really understand or understand or overstand what it is that you are speaking? Probably not. And I think it's hilarious. When I see and I hear others adopt what I say as if it was their own and ride it. You fucking crazy. Ask them to explain it to you. And they can't. This is why I tell you, take inventory in your life of the people that are around you. I do it all the time. Like I'm explaining to you, I have a list of people that I have actively engaged with and fueled change because they wanted the change for themselves. But now out of that list, there are a clear-cut names that have just tried to be me without doing the work and think they know when they have no clue. And then there's the other ones that have actually been actively listened, open to the learning, and applied the learning in their life, felt the change and fueled change for themselves. Didn't try to be me at all. They tried to invest in them and be themselves. See, listen, I take inventory and I see it all. There's only one of me on the planet. And that's why I must be me. I'm no better than anybody, but I sure as hell have a lot more knowledge than most. And knowledge is power, people. So, you better take inventory of the people in your life. And are they coming to give you something? Or are they coming to take from you? You better look at that too. What do you accept in your life as your friends? And the people that you give your... Who are the people that you stop living for? Great question. Yes, I get it. Who are the people that you stop living for? Who are the people that you drop your life for to cater to? Is it reciprocated to you? Think about that. Look at that. Take inventory of the people in your life. Are you sitting there accepting ways from people that you don't accept from yourself? Take a look at that. Me? Why do I stay alone most of the time? Because there's very seldom and rare to find anybody who's as invested as I am in evolution and growth of my soul. That's why I stay alone. Yes, I can go hang out. Yes, I can go do whatever. Yes, but the majority of my time is spent with me because I value and honor me. No, I don't want conflict and chaos in my life, and that just happens to be what people bring unless they're on an evolved higher level of functioning consciously within themselves. It's not about acquiring knowledge and degrees and blah, 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 blah. Listen, bring me any motherfucker with a PhD right now to have a chat. I don't care. I don't care what title that they've acquired with whatever brainwashing program that they have. Because I can literally hold my own with anything or anybody on the planet. But I will not keep investing in things that they're in a pattern of chaos and destruction and within their own being. By choice. No matter how much knowledge I give them. If they do not want to feel better, they won't. They will get stuck in their chaotic ways, get addicted to their negative hormones. How do I know? I was addicted to the negative flow of hormones in my body. Yeah. Okay, if you don't take a look at yourself, well, then you are unaware when your body says, okay, it's that time, I need my fucking adrenaline fix, and your own self will pick a fight with you. Yeah, because it needs that fix. Because it's used to running on that program. Well, if you don't want to take a look at yourself and really apply the learning, well, then you'll never break out of that pattern. Me, I got better things to do, even if it's sit there and be at peace with myself, than to sit there and comfort anybody's chaos. And that's why usually I don't keep friends for too long. I'm only a momentary lapse of reason for them. Now, what they do with that is up to them. Because me, I keep it moving. All the time. No matter what. Nobody's pulling me down into that chaotic pit of poison. No fucking way. I don't walk around as a pit of poison. Nor am I a part of this problem on the earth. So why do I accept, or why would I accept, any pits of poison walking around me? I won't. And if I do, it is for their learning, and it won't be for too long. Because they either take the learning and apply it and fucking make the changes, or they don't. And whatever they do with that is not up to me, because me, I keep it moving. So if somebody wants to stay stuck and stupid, well, I'm gone. Because I know I fly in and out on purpose. But if you don't seize that opportunity for yourself, thinking that, okay, well, I'll always have access to Tobi, you are sadly mistaken. Because I take inventory of my life and how people show up in my life and who they show up to be in my life and whether they are in constant fucking chaos running from themselves or not. I see that. I don't deny that. I also feel it. Especially when I'm sitting there and I have to fight with people to self-regulate. Fuck that. I got better things to do. From my state, there is no self-regulate. I'm a joyous, happy, I can't even say happy. That word makes me sick. Happy. I'm joyous. Happy is a washed down version of joy. I don't want that. I want to be joyous and blissful every breathing moment of my day. If I don't produce conflict and chaos within me, why the fuck do I want it around me? I don't. I don't. Cheers. Keep that shit. I don't want no part of that. And that's why I am the farthest thing from who I used to be. Because I used to put up with so much shit. And I let people get away with the most shit with me. But it was all meant to be. Why? Because it's 2024, karmic year of justice. You're the dragon. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And where there's the breath of life, all and everything's there. Literally. Guys, you got to take inventory. You really do. Inventory of your thoughts, your ideas, the way you talk, the way you act, what you put up with, who you allow in your life. Look, if you've got a distorted view of yourself, well, you got a distorted view about everybody going on around you. Okay? Straight up. How do you see you? Do you see yourself as a loving, joyous individual? So if you do, why do you put up with people who want to stay in depression and anxiety and fucking drug addiction and all kind of shit? It doesn't make sense, does it? People don't tolerate what they don't condone. Okay? So if you're condoning it, well, then you are the same. Simple. If you are condoning the problems in this world, well, you're a part of the problem. But have you taken a look at the way you operate? Have you done the inventory for yourself? Who do you show up to be in this world? Do you show up to be somebody who's in chaos within themselves, hiding that by smothering it with a mask? Fuck that shit. That's not me. But that's why I fly in and out of people's lives, and I don't stick around too long. No. No, I don't. And usually, it only takes a couple of months because I allot people that. Because I know what they need. And I give them what they need. That's who I am on this earth. That is my purpose. Is to feel another's needs on a physical, spiritual, and emotional level. And provide that to them. To assist them with their healing. Yeah. But when I see that that is being taken for granted, so what is that? Not appreciated? Blown off? They're not applying the learning? They want to stay running from their own being instead of sitting the fuck with themselves and figuring it out? I gotta go. I got better things to do. Because those aren't patterns that I create for myself, and I'm only there to break you out of them. So I'm definitely not going to sit around while you fuel them. By your own choice. After you know better. Because my thing is, once you know better, you do better. And there's no excuse. And if you choose to sit there and have excuses for yourself, well, I have none for you. None. Nor do I have any attention for you. Nor do I have any interest for you. No. Why would I? I don't condone that shit. I didn't condone it with me. Why would I condone it with another? Makes no sense. Birds of a feather flock together. That's why I fly as a fucking eagle. Because I can depend on me. And I can depend on my state. That's why. You know, when you want to peck with the pigeons, well, guess what? You're flocking with those pigeons. And yes, what are they doing? They got their head to the ground fucking pecking. They're not flying. They're not. And if they are, it's a very low altitude. This is why I tell you guys, I'll take the inventory of your life and see how people show up to be in your life. But who are you showing up to be? What are you condoning from others? What are you not correcting? What are you staying silent to? What are you denying for your own being? You know, and when I talk about it, what are you condoning? What are you condoning for you? What do you think is acceptable for you? Take the inventory of the people that show up in your life and who they are. If you don't have the courage to look at yourself, take a good look. And don't sit there and say, well, that's just them. No, that's you too, because you're putting up with it. You got to see people for who they are. And if you can't, it's because you don't fucking know you. And I'll say that proudly this morning. Because I know me, therefore I can know another. And if you don't know you, well then, you can't know another. Biggest thing about being an empath is to know your own energy and know what's yours and what's not. Well, I've mastered my energy to the point where I've fueled it through my entire being to embody it fully. I don't play around. The force that's flowing through me is unlike another. And I'll tell you, it is not of this physical. So, this is why, yes, more than not, I am alone. Very different from who I used to be. Why? Because I cannot comfort chaos and I cannot put up with conflict, confusion, and bullshit because I do not contain that within myself. So yes, I do come into situations in people's life that are in conflict and confusion and chaos. Yes, to be the correction. To assist them. To make the different choices that they need to make in their life. To fuel greatness into their life. But if they're too interested in just adopting the things that I say and adopting my ways of being, instead of making the fucking changes for themselves, peace out, gotta go. Sayonara. Tell me how that works out for you. And God forbid you ever have to explain. Because you wouldn't really know. Gotta watch the people in your life. But that's why I don't stick around for too long. Because all it takes is, I talk about it in one of my books, actually, about the toolbox for life. Well, I have a toolbox for life that is readily available for me with every single tool that I need for any kind of situation, circumstance, scenario, person, place, or thing, anything in this possible reality. Well, in that toolbox, I talk about free passes. Well, I may not say anything to you when I feel something, because I've given you a free pass. Yeah. And if you're really lucky, because I really want to offer you another chance, I'll give you a second free pass. But you won't get a third with me. And will I say anything? No. Will I argue with you? No. Will I cause conflict and confusion with you? Nope. What I will do is I will retract. That's what I will do. Toby will no longer be accessible. Toby's energy will no longer be accessible. Toby's comfort and care will no longer be accessible. And you will find yourself on your own, in your pit of poison. Literally. I know what that feels like. Yeah, it poisoned me to my core, shut down my kidneys, almost exploded my heart. Nobody really knows the pit of poison until they're consumed by it. Yep. But some you gotta let be consumed by their pit of poison, and this is why I tell you, take inventory in your life. Because the things that you will not accept for yourself, you do not accept from another. They don't warrant that position or permission. Why? Because, especially when you've done the work. I encourage you all to take the inventory in your life today if you haven't. And yeah, I'll say it too. Even though our fucking government has totally fucked us in the ass with no lube, happy Canada Day. Simple. We have such a beautiful country, but the governance of it has to go. And I'll say it. And yes, now with the new laws, they want to be able to fucking put me in jail for saying that shit. Wow. Huh. I guess we should say it while we can, eh? Before we got military at our door saying, oh, you spoke bad about the governance of this demonic system that you're under. So you must be punished. More than we're already punishing you. Yeah, sure. Okay, no problem. You know, I pity the day they try to hook me up to anything. Holy fuck, I'll blow the whole grid. Hook it up, let's go. Bring it on, Buttercup. Not too many can hold my frequency. But yeah, guys, I encourage you all. If you haven't up until now, take the inventory in your life. If you really are having a hard time looking at your own being, look at the people that you entertain in your life. Yeah. Look at the people that you stop your life for and who they really are. Look at what you are giving permissions to, because nobody's doing nothing to you. But you sure are giving permissions to a lot that doesn't warrant it. I can guarantee you that until you make the changes. Me, I take inventory on a daily, eh? On a daily. When I close out my day and I empty that cup of tea and I cut all bonds, boy, that inventory is done. Because I don't have any regrets. So if there's anything that has left me not feeling right or whatever, by the end of the day, it's taken care of. I don't carry that over. No, and I don't encourage anybody to do that. Deal with your shit head on. Head on. That's the only way to do it. Literally. Guys, I love you all. Enjoy the festivities today. If you are out there and about, be that loving, kind person, compassionate, that the world needs. Doesn't matter what others are doing. Fuck. Oh, well, because they were doing this, so I decided, nah, be that one. If you're the only one, be that one, because the world needs you. And infuse as much love as you possibly can. The world's hurting, and a lot of people need it. And a lot of people are walking around masked up, believing a whole crock of shit about themselves and the world. So be that one that distorts that all, okay? Be that one that, you know, is that joyous being infusing love, because you can do it. Guys, I don't know why the internet wouldn't work while I was on my walk this morning, but it was quite a morning. Anyway, guys, I love you all. This is why I do it. But take the inventory in your life. Take the inventory for you. Take the inventory of the permissions that you give people. But also, take the inventory of just the permissions you give yourself. Do you give yourself permission to feel loved first? Do you give yourself the permission to comfort yourself? To invest in you first? You gotta take a look at that. And most of all, take the inventory of who you're showing up as in this world. You know? Don't lie to yourself. And don't lie to anybody else. Because people like me, we can smell that. Yeah. And that's why I'm at the point where I will have no conversations than crappy ones. I would rather just sit by myself than to comfort anybody's chaos. I can't, listen, I take the inventory daily about how anything makes me feel. And that is my determining factor, whether I want that back in my life or not. Simple the next day, and I recreate that. You know, guys, be true to yourself first, literally. And take the inventory of the people that are in your life. Yeah. Are they loving? Do they genuinely give a shit? Well, if they can't love themselves, they can't love you. So if they're telling you that they love you, but they can't love themselves, it's a crock of shit. And I'll be the one to tell you. Yeah. Because it is factually impossible, and it is only words. When somebody's telling you that they love you, but they cannot sit with themselves, they cannot love themselves, they are in complete chaos and denial about themselves, well, then they can't love you because they're not fucking loving themselves. Don't feed into people's lies, eh? And don't give those permissions either to rule your life. You're the ruler of your life. You're the magician. Make it happen because you can. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.